So the approach that I take is I see where an actor is, and I say, all right, we're going to see where you're at, and we're going to bump you up to your next level. So in that sense, we work very individually with each actor, depending on what they need to work on. The other approach that I like to take with actors is every actor is different. Every actor is unique. Every individual is unique. There's not a lot of people like you. There's no one like you. So part of our job is what makes you different? What makes you unique? So the philosophy is not who do I have to be this character when we're working on a role, but who's the character because I'm playing him. And so that's the way we approach the work here. I think it's tricky to find the right place to study. There's all kinds of acting coaches, and they run the gamut, and they all have their own way of approaching the work. And they're all good. There's a lot of good teachers out there, but everybody approaches it a little bit differently. So it's important, I think, to audit classes and check out other studios and find out who speaks to you. If you come here as a beginning actor, you will learn the fundamentals of acting, and then you will move into, advanced classes. Once you get there, you're going to be working on stage, working in front of an audience to get more professional experience and showcasing yourself, all at the same place. If you're a professional actor, you're going to get individualized coaching where we are ruthlessly going after you to push you to your next level, very aggressively. And then at the same time, you're going to have an opportunity to take all of our bonus classes, and you're also going to have an opportunity to produce your own shows. We have a class in the business of acting where we teach people, about making things happen for yourself. I've had award-winning actors and producers come here and create their own television series out of taking our business of acting classes. So you have an opportunity to study, you have an opportunity to work, you have an opportunity to network, and you have an opportunity to, as you grow as an actor, we're going with you. An advanced actor here is being as challenged as a beginning actor. So it's the kind of studio that no matter what level you're at, you're going to be challenged and pushed to your next level. If you're an actor that has a full-time job or has a part-time job and you're pursuing acting, this is a great place to study because it's very low tuition and you get to come to class at night, on weekends, when you can make it. And that to me is the kind of actor that really thrives here, because you don't have to completely give up your day job to study and get the caliber of training that I think we offer. Actors need to work. You need to work, not talk about acting and not sit in the back and wait for somebody to give you a job. You've got to work. You've got to create work for yourself, and you've got to be working, because work begets work. Actors you don't want to be a victim being an actor. You want to be in your power. So when you study here, that's part of our training. Part of our philosophy is turning actors into, people with spines and really pursuing their passion and being businessmen. You're a business person. You're self-employed, and you need to go out and create work. And the energy here elicits that to me. I notice when people study here, they get work. Because there's a certain energy. There's a commitment that's made about working and about studying and about being an actor, and they're standing up to it. They're not just talking about it. They're not taking a class or dabbling in something. They're committed, they're working, and they're training. And if they're not, they won't last here. If you're not serious about it, you won't last here. But if you are, you'll be surrounded by a group of like-minded people who are all supporting each other. My reputation in town is this. I break an actor of their blocks and push them up to their next level. That's what our reputation is. An agent might have a client that gets 10 callbacks, only books one. They'll say, hey, this actor gets 10 callbacks but only books one, take a look at him. They'll come in and they'll study here, we'll work on that problem, send them on their way. So people will study here 2 months, people will study here 2 years. Most people come and go depending on, what it is they need to do. Our classes are very small. We work very individually with each person, and everybody works every class. Also, everybody has a relationship with the teacher, so they're working on their specific needs on what it is they need to work on. In our classes, we do scene study, we do cold reading, audition technique, we do a lot of improv. Our improv is dramatic-based improv. It's not comedy improv. There's no yes-and game to our improv. We use improv to work on a strong emotional preparation, to work on very strong objective and work moment to moment to create a very strong spine of the character. So it's very different than your conventional comedy improv technique. We also have classes on camera, and we have a whole slew of what we call bonus classes. We also have a beginner's class. Now in our beginner's class, it is a class that I've designed myself after teaching here for 30 years and finding out that actors, even well-trained professional working actors, have little spots in their training. Like they might do certain things well, but they're not doing other things well. So I designed this beginner's class where we laid the foundation right down. And it starts right at one level on top of the other. It takes about 3 months to take this level. And it's for people who are beginning actors who've never studied. It's for actors who may have a bunch of training, but they don't have a solid foundation of training. It's for people who maybe have been away from it for a while and need a review. Yeah, I'll sometimes get salesmen, lawyers, and the people who just want to become better speakers. I'll sometimes get directors and writers to come to that class so they can understand the fundamentals of what it is that we do as actors. It's a 3-month class. We do that 3 times a year. And when you're done with that class, you'll know if you like acting and if you're any good at it. And you will know what you're doing. We've been teaching that class for 20 years, and that's a custom class that I designed myself. And in our bonus classes, there are extra classes that actors can take. Right at the moment, we have a yoga class, we have a voice class, we do have a comedy improv class to help loosen people up. We have something called a Pro Actors Lab that actors work on scripts so they learn how to get the words off of the page and onto their bodies. We have regular going repetition classes. Sometimes we do a business of acting class. We might have 3 or 4 of those a week. And actors who are studying here for the same tuition, they take their regular class, but they can also sign up for as many bonus classes as they want to. So you can come to class and take 1 class and go home, or this can be home, whereas you can come to class 3 or 4 times a week. And when you do that, you get an opportunity to work with other actors, you get an opportunity to work with the other teachers. So there's very much a community here. There's very much a sense of a community. We put on shows. We have a writer's workshop that writes their own material, that we actually produce the material of the writers. So there's an opportunity for actors to showcase themselves, to really gain experience, and to network with other professionals, other directors that come in here, other writers, other actors. So my principle is this. Good acting is living truthfully under imaginary circumstances, moment to moment. So let's really learn what living truthfully is, because the more we know the truth, the more we know what's not the truth, and the more we know our imagination. So the premise of our work starts with that basic principle. Good acting is living truthfully, moment to moment. I'm influenced by the teachings of Sanford Meisner, Uta Hagen, Stella Adler, and Lee Strasberg. We use a little bit of all of that. Although we're primarily Meisner, I use a little of everything. Because my job is not to, teach you how to work their technique, but find out what technique works for you. Because what works for one actor might not work for somebody else. So my job and our job here as teachers is to help you find what works for you and to go after that and empower that within you. When you come here, you will have an interview and you will have an audit, and it'll be a participating audit where you work and I get to see what you do so that I can say, this is what I have to offer you. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything because you shouldn't be investing until you know this is what you want. And I'm not going to invest in you until I know that I can help you. Every actor in town should take advantage of that because it's a free audit. It's a free opportunity to get an assessment of your work by a master teacher to see if it's right for you. We've been here for 30 years in the NoHo Arts District at the same location. I started this very much as an actor. I was studying at various places. I would study, and when I'd get to a certain level, I'd move to another place to study. Then I'd have to find another place to study as I moved up. And then I needed to get experience as an actor. So I would go out and audition for plays, and I'd go to other places. And I found such poor quality of theater and schools that I decided I wanted to create a place where actors can come and it has everything. I was an actor that was doing a lot of theater and doing a lot of projects, and I realized that there's not a place that was really safe and where actors could come and work. So I found this storefront, and I was teaching at the time, and I was a part-time teacher. I was a full-time actor who was teaching part-time. And I grew over the last 30 years from being a full-time actor who was teaching part-time to becoming a full-time teacher who acts part-time. And I built the studio and the studio next door, and over the years it's really grown and taken off, and now we have a whole staff of teachers. Besides myself who are teaching here, we have a whole program and a whole curriculum. So it started out as a place for me to do theater as a young actor. That's why I built this place, because I wanted a place to do theater as a young actor, and it just kind of blossomed out of that. And it's still that place. And the environment that I'm trying to create here is you can come here, you can study, you can train, you can get a lot of coaching, and you can work. And you can create work, and you can network. And there's not a lot of places like that in Los Angeles. And we do it for a very reasonable cost. You compare us, we're very, very reasonable. We do that for a reason. We want to cater to people who are, striving actors. So it's not just a scene study class. It's not just a improv class. It is not a curriculum of, oh, this is an 8-week on-camera class. No, this is a month-to-month ongoing class that you're going to get what you need while you're here. A lot of people will study here. They'll go off on location. They'll come back. We'll pick up where they left off. They'll go off and they'll get a job somewhere else. They'll come back, and we work on what it is that they need to work on. So it's not this conventional semester class or this 8-week class. It's a month-to-month ongoing commitment. We call it the Actors Workout Studio for a reason. It's where actors come to work out. Actors need a place to work out. You don't just study and go. You train, just like an athlete constantly trains, just like an athlete goes to the gym to work out. An actor needs to work on their chops regularly. I always say, I want my students to walk out of here like this. Auditions are easy. Fran's class is tough. Okay? Because this is the place where you really get trained, you really get pushed, you really get challenged. They walk out of here, auditions are a piece of cake. This is where the challenge is. And that's what it should be for an actor. They need to be training, just like a musician is practicing their instrument every day. An actor needs to do that. And that's why I created the Actors Workout Studio, a place for people to work out regularly. Come and check it out. Take an audit. You got nothing to lose. Take a risk. So, our theory is you don't come to the Actors Workout just to study. You come to the Actors Workout to work. People ask me all the time, do I have talent? And I say to them, I don't know. But if you do, I'm going to get it out of you. You show up, you do your homework, you do the work, and in a very short time, you're going to know if you like it, you're going to know if you're any good at it, you're going to know if you're cut out for it. And it's going to alleviate any questions you may think Hollywood and acting is about. You're going to really learn the craft, because that's what we're about here. People always ask me actors that I like and who I admire. And there's a lot, but Robert Downey Jr. sticks out to me. Robert Downey Jr. to me is an excellent listener. Watch his work. He's a great listener. So much of acting is about listening. And it's about reacting, but not just reacting, but it's reacting with a point of view. One of the first things you need to do as an actor is to be a good listener. If you're not a good listener, there's nothing coming in for you to bring back. If you're an advanced actor and you come here and take class, you are getting personally coached on your specific needs as an actor. You're also going to be studying improvisation, dramatic improvisation. You're going to learn how to work moment to moment more than you ever thought you knew how. Not comedy improv, dramatic improv. Auditioning, script analysis, breaking down a script so that you can best serve the material of the writer. You're going to do scene study. You might spend 4 to 6 weeks on a scene with a partner, all being in one class. Finding the right acting teacher is tough. There's a lot of good acting teachers out there. When you go into a class, you need to feel safe, and at the same time, you need to be challenged. You need to take your clothes off emotionally. You have to be able to be raw and vulnerable. And at the same time, be pushed and challenged. It needs to be a safe environment. At the same time, the language that the teacher is speaking to you needs to resonate. Teachers teach from many different perspectives. So when you're in my class and I'm giving notes, if you're not having an awareness of, oh, I follow this, oh, I see this, oh, I get it, I'm not the place for you. I can tell you right now, I am not right for everybody. But I've been teaching for 30 years, and if this place is right for you, you're going to know it. And if it's not right for you, it's taken you one step closer to finding out what is right for you. You owe it to yourself to check it out and audit a class. I stand by my staff. The people who work here and teach here are committed artists, and they believe in the work. They go out of their way. They've all been trained by myself and have extensive training, and they're committed. And that's really important. I've had a lot of people have really interesting results from studying here and being inspired by the work here. I had one actor who was in the business of acting class. He decided he didn't want to be an actor, but he wanted to be a writer after taking the class here for 2 years. He wrote a screenplay. 2 years later, I got invited to the screening of his opening of his movie. And another actress who was here who, after our business of acting class, decided to create her own web series. 6 months later, she's produced a 9-episode web series with some stars attached to it who were in it. It won several awards, and out of the casting, ended up casting 90% of her people from the studio here because they were the best actors that she saw. So people work when they're here, and they make contacts and they work. I don't allow casting directors to come into my classes. A lot of people don't like that. But when you're in a class, you need to have a place where you can take a chance and stretch and fall on your face, because that's how you get better. Casting directors call me all the time and want to come to my classes. I don't let them in. But we'll put on a showcase where their best work is being presented, and that's when they get invited in. There's too much of this mixing together. Studying with a casting director to be seen, but if you're not good enough, it's not going to do you any good. Actors need a place to work out. They need a place to train. They need a place to fall on their face, try their hardest, pick up their pieces and try again, without feeling judged that they're going to get a job as a result of that or not. Then once they get strong, then they go out and they showcase themselves to be seen. Don't mix those things up. Too many people bring those things together.